Shout out to G-Man Boxing.
Just a quick one before I get into this video. I want to give a big shout out to Del Boy, Blue Collar Sports TV, channel there on screen. Great guy, great channel. One of the best boxing channels on YouTube. And he's also got a crime channel, Disturb Reality, which is massive. But yeah, shout out to him. He helped the channel, the True Crime channel, along the way today. So big up to him. He's just gone over the 5k mark. So hopefully, I know most people watch my videos, watch his as well. But go over there, give him a subscribe. Let's talk boxing. Alright, this whole Tyson Fury, Dillian Whyte situation, it's starting to get tedious now, and I'm starting to wonder what's going to happen next with this, because we were due for purse bids today. Now bear in mind, we were due for purse bids last week. It was pushed back to this week. It's been pushed back a further week. It is now pushed back until Friday the 21st of January. Eddie Hearn recently told BBC Sport. No sooner did Eddie Hearn say that we got, well, I think it was actually a few days ago. I think it was on that fight night with Garrett A. Davis, where Bob Arum told TalkSport that the Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte fight, I was going to say rematch there, but that's wilder. The Tyson Fury Dillian Whyte fight talks remain ongoing, and they are trying to secure a deal before the purse bids. So I assume Bob Arum and Eddie Hearn, they just want to get a deal in place rather than go down that avenue, because bear in mind, it does leave that fight open to other bidding. It does. However, he's also named... there's one name here the fact that he's named this name of all people, the first name's not great, but this second one, wait till you hear this, he's named two potential opponents for Fury if the Whyte fight doesn't happen next, because I think Frank Warren was even hinting that Fury will hopefully be out on March 26th, God knows where, but March 26th, the date they're given. And the two opponents, the first one is Robert Helenius, who is highly ranked by the WBA. He's WBA gold champion, for what that worth. And the other one, Manuel Charr, who was meant to fight Trevor Bryan on the Don King card in a couple of weeks' time. Manuel Charr, who's coming off a career best performance against the undefeated 19-0 with 19 knockouts Christopher Lovejoy, in a fight in which he failed spectacularly at a backflip. That's pretty much the highlight of Manuel Charr's career. I mean, he won a regular title from Ustinov, but it was a regular title. That's pretty much the highlight then and there. Manuel Charr, you know, he's had what? One fight in almost 5 years? A little over 4 years. He fought Ustinov in 2017. He fought Lovejoy last May or June. And that's it. That's it. He looked pretty poor in that Lovejoy fight. He really did. Only Lovejoy looked worse. Manuel Charr is a potential opponent. Does anyone remember? Cast your minds back to 2017, was it 2017? Yeah, it might have been 2017. Or certainly it was definitely 2017. When Tyson Fury was way out of shape. He was still having those issues with UCAD and the British Boxing Board of Control. He had no fights or anything like that lined up. But he was talking around about that time of fighting on one of Billy Joe Saunders' undercards. He was actually out in Spain, or was it? Yeah, I think it was in Marbella with Billy Joe Saunders doing a little bit of training. And there was was it in an airport or was it at a show where Manuel Charr actually came and said, "I'll be your comeback opponent." And 2017 Fury was a grossly overweight, all over the place Tyson Fury, and Manuel Charr, they were talking about him as an opponent back then. Obviously it didn't happen. He ended up fighting Safiri a year later. But Charr, of all names, they're talking about. I wonder, are they just looking to get, like, I'm assuming that would be a non-title. I think I heard earlier in the year that would be a non-title fight if it was to be Fury against someone other than Dillian Whyte. Now I wonder, would they actually go down that road? Like, Helenius is better, yes, but Helenius coming off the back of two very good wins. Now I give him credit, two very good wins over Adam Kalnacki. I myself have never been exactly sold on Kalnacki. I know some people were really kind of high on him because he was a kind of volume puncher and he appeared to take a good shot. But I always felt like it was very leaky defense. He didn't really have a crazy amount of pop to keep guys off of him. And I didn't think Helenius would be the one to find him out, but I did think he'd get stopped sooner or later. Helenius, as we know, very, very good puncher. One of the best punchers in the heavyweight division. You know, that's not me saying he's one of the best fighters. No, in terms of sheer brute force in his punches, Helenius has got to be up there as probably one of the top 5 punchers at heavyweight. Robert Helenius, tremendous puncher, but that's pretty much it. That's all he can really do. He's not particularly fast, sophisticated. He's not the strongest heavyweight in the world in terms of physical strength. Doesn't take a particularly good shot, stopped by guys like Gerald Washington. He was stopped by Gerald Washington a couple of years ago, lest we forget. So neither of them names are particularly good. I wonder if they just want to keep Fury active now at this stage. I'm wondering if they're looking at Fury following the Wilder trilogy fight, and they're thinking, you know what, if we don't get this guy active routinely, God knows what's going to happen. Because he didn't come in the best of shape for the Wilder trilogy fight. Yes, he was a similar weight to what he was in the rematch, but in the rematch, aesthetically, he looked better. He did. You know, I think there was only a couple of pounds in it between Fury in the trilogy and him in the rematch, but the eye can tell he looked better in every aspect in the rematch as opposed to the trilogy. And I wonder if Team Fury are thinking, do you know what, we need to keep this guy active. We really need to keep him active. Now, I do wonder about him potentially taking an interim fight because, again, unless there's like a deal in place where it's just on BT Sport potentially, and Top Rank might air it, but it's primarily a Queensbury promotion, because I believe that this is his last fight with Top Rank and ESPN, if in fact that is the case, and if it happens to be, you know, against Robert Helenius or someone like that, and there's a possibility he might not re-sign. I don't know if Bob Arum wants to do it like that, so they might. If they do, I'm saying if, but the Dillian Whyte fight at this stage, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. You know, it's constantly getting pushed back. We're hearing things left, right, and centre. I don't know. It's not looking good. We'll watch the space, but push back another week. Well, a little over a week, isn't it? I mean, I think 26th. When is that? When is the 26th? That's next. Or 21st, I should say, sorry. So Friday week. Is it Friday week? No, actually, it's this Friday coming, actually. Jesus, where am I going? I thought that said 26. It's been pushed back to Friday. Okay, so this Friday, apologies. I said it was next week. It's this week, actually, still. But we'll wait and see what happens there. If we're going to purse bids, if a deal is put in place. Watch the space. I expect news on several things to come this week. I expect... Hopefully we'll get a more clear understanding of what's going on with the Fury Whyte situation, and hopefully as well also we'll get AJ some news on him, a new set, potentially a new trainer as well. Obviously Alexander Usyk has been celebrating his birthday today, as we can say. He uploaded a video to his Twitter doing a dance, a happy birthday dance. Shout out to him. So it's going to be an interesting week. Watch the space this week. There's obviously not a lot of fights going on this time of the year. Is what it is. But you know, greener days are ahead, as the saying goes. Come the month of February, there is fights going to be consistently happening. You know, January, just going off topic here, but January has always been a very quiet month in the world of boxing. You know, I remember 2019, even 2018 actually. 2018, what fights happened in 2018 early in the year? Oh yes, Eddie Hearn put that Isaac Chamberlain card on where he was fighting Lawrence Okolie. That was the start of February. There was no Frank Warren cards that I remember in January 2018, and likewise 2019, Eddie Hearn, that first card in 2019 was the Cheeseman Garcia card. So January's always been a quiet month in boxing. It has, but it is nice to get some fights in along the way. January and July can be a quiet month as well at times. They usually tend to be the 2 months that are the quietest in boxing. The rest of the time you're normally getting fights consistently. So we'll see, but we're getting news. That's the main thing. So we've something to talk about. And yeah, we'll watch this space with Tyson Fury, Dillian Whyte. And for the love of God, please God, no, Manuel Charr. Jesus Christ, that would be no. Just no. You know, just don't do that. Don't do that. No to Manuel Charr, please. God, no. So I'll leave you with that. For now, lads and lassies, hope you enjoyed the video. If you could, please smash the like button. And yeah, big thank you to everyone who joined the True Crime with G-Man channel. Real pleased about that. For now, lads, I'll talk to you. Peace.